Who leaves voicemails anymore?
I think I've got 24 waiting on my phone to be heard.
The dominance over the Eastern Conference continues for LeBron James.
The greatest player in the game today, LeBron James.
8 consecutive finals appearance. Kevin Durant has been on fire.
Steph Curry is putting on a shooting show here.
Hey, that's what we're going to be talking about off the top of the show. We're mailing it in. It's Thursday. It's our last show of the week. I'm Dan. He's Jay. Now, usually, I say we're mailing it in, but this might be different because we just saw something before the show we've never seen before. Producer Tim brought you out, hand-delivered the lead highlight pack.
He handed this script to me. We've never had that done before.
Yes.
Just seconds ago.
He put it together.
I think everything's gone wrong already. Cavs and Warriors game 1.
Yes.
This was an exciting game. You're out to dinner with J.R. Smith and he says, I'll tally up the bill. Don't trust him. Golden State has won game 1 in the last 3 years of the NBA Finals. LeBron in the shorts and long socks. LeBron has scored 612 points this postseason. I don't know what that means. First quarter, J.R. Smith turns it over. Klay Thompson to Steph Curry to Kevin Durant. The Warriors 14-1 in the last 4 years in game 1s. That's real nice. Later, Smith slips and goes right into Thompson. And Thompson suffers a left lateral leg contusion and is forced to leave the game, but did return in the second quarter. Now, Kevin Love cleared from his concussion, and they got him involved early. Backdoor feed from James. Cavs actually had a 1-point lead after the first quarter. Second quarter, LeBron drives, scores. The King, excellent early on. Hit his first 6 shots from the field, had 24 at the half, under 2 to go in the quarter. Tristan Thompson strip. Curry to Durant, caps a 13-2 Golden State run. Now, moments after that, LeBron takes a hand to the face from Draymond, and Green picks up his 4th technical in the playoffs. He gets a 1-game suspension after his 7th. Just letting you know, the mark leaves a mark. Dying seconds of the first half. Mike Breen with the call on TSN. By the way, Leo Routens and Jack Armstrong are in studio and ready to talk to us about this game in just seconds. So stay tuned for that. Third quarter, LeBron from long range. LeBron, his 109th 30-point playoff game, ties Michael Jeffrey Jordan for the most all time. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Under 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Klay Thompson. Warriors up 6 after 3. We're going to the 4th. LeBron, 8th 40-point game this postseason. Under a minute to go, Cavs down 1. LeBron gets it to go, and the foul. Cleveland back in front. LeBron James, career finals high, 51 points, not to be denied. Steph Curry lays it in, and 1. Warriors back up 1. Final seconds then. LeBron trying to get to George Hill. Klay fouls him. Hits his first free throw. Misses the second. J.R. Smith gets the rebound. What are you doing, J.R. Smith? What are you? Clock expires. Huge missed opportunity. LeBron appeared to be open. We're going to overtime. George Hill blocked by Green. Warriors go the other way. And Steph to Green, to Klay, to the bucket. Warriors by 5. Then Curry to Sean Livingston. It's just a very weird play. They were both laughing about it. Warriors up 7, and then Draymond. When Draymond is hitting these shots, you're going to lose, said Mark Jackson, or maybe it was Jeff Van Gundy at one point during this game. Tristan Thompson wasn't happy Sean Livingston took that shot. Thompson puts the ball in Green's face. It was a bit of a scrum at the end. Kind of a nasty finish. That's exciting, right? We want this series to be a bit interesting, don't we? Golden State wins it by a final of 124-114 to take a Game 1 lead, or a Game 1 win and a 1-0 lead in the NBA Finals. LeBron, as I mentioned, a career-high 51 points. LeBron, by the way, this is incredible. Just 1-8 all-time in Game 1s in the Finals. Incredible. Golden State is 15-1 in Game 1s in the last 4 years. LeBron's 51, as mentioned, most he's ever scored in a Finals game. He also had 8 rebounds. He had 8 assists. He accounted for 45% of the Cavs scoring. He hadn't had a 30-point game in any of his Game 1s in the first 3 rounds of the postseason, but he needed it here despite the loss. And with that, we're walking over to the Coors side seats. I'm so excited because we not only have Jack here, we have Leo here.
David, come on. How you doing?
How are you, my friend? Hello.
Good. You good?
I stepped on Leo's beautiful shoes there.
All right.
J.R. Smith, can we talk about that?
What's going on
Well,
there,
you
guys?
remember that show, Dallas? Who shot J.R.? I think the people in Cleveland would like to do that right now.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Have you seen anything like that in an NBA Finals game?
Not in the finals game, but we did see it in a playoff game in Toronto. Not in Toronto, but Toronto Raptors against the Detroit
2002.
Pistons. Chris Childs. You
Yes,
know,
the Detroit
because what
Pistons.
we were just talking about, the only thing that makes sense is that J.R. Smith had no idea what the score was.
Right, he thought they had the lead,
Yeah.
right? He was
Because
trying to dribble it out.
if you saw afterwards, LeBron James going like this, he goes, oh.
He had no idea.
Looks up at the score.
And he made a crucial play at the end of the half, too. He gambles on Steph Curry, and Curry makes a 3 at the end of the half. So 2 big mistakes.
So the Warriors leave the door open in regulation.
There's the play right there at the end of the half. Look at
let's
this.
have a
He
look at it.
gambles.
No need to gamble.
Steph Curry gets a wide open 3 to finish the half. And then obviously this next play right here, tie game. How do you not know the score? I mean,
Dead ball. You got to
look
know
at
the
this.
score.
Hello?
He's got it. LeBron's wide open.
Hello? Anyone home?
It's not to say that he would have hit the shot, but they had a few seconds on the clock there.
Oh, yeah.
At
That's
first,
a
it
lot of
looked like,
time.
okay, maybe they've got a set play. But
And you
then-
got the best player on the planet with 51 points. Give him the ball.
Or just call a timeout if
Right.
worst comes to worst. I don't think JR graduated first in his class. Let's just say that, okay?
Jay, you
Sorry, go ahead.
pointed out, though, that LeBron very restrained after seeing that happen because he could have lost his mind.
But if you look at LeBron, everything he's done throughout the entire playoffs, he's shown tremendous amount of trust to his teammates. You know, he's given up the basketball. He's keeping them involved. He understands his leadership's the only thing that's going to get them through this. So the last thing he can do, he understands what J.R. Smith is.
Right.
J.R. Smith is a guy that can do that to you. So what you don't want to do right now is lose J.R. Smith.
Fair enough.
And they shot 10 for 37 tonight, Cleveland, from 3. And as Leo mentioned, he did show a lot of trust in his teammates. Bottom line, you got to make those shots.
Yeah.
If you're going to beat Golden State, your margin of error is slim. You got to make them. And Houston, we saw this as well. They missed a lot of those open shots. You got to punish them. And I thought this was their game to win tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and then you look, Kevin Love, he comes off a concussion, looks greater. Like you talked about getting other teammates going. Kevin Love looked really good.
You know, now we've gotten through this, and you have a few days to figure it out. They have to be tighter in terms of their defensive coverages, and offensively kind of comes and goes a little bit. They got to be a little more
And the thing
consistent.
about this, too, what does LeBron think of game ones? They're feeling out games. So
Yeah.
he felt it out with 51.
Right.
So I can't wait for game 2.
Yeah.
Real quickly, the suits with shorts, yes or no?
Oh,
No,
horrible.
you didn't like that?
No?
I'm not a big
Horrible.
fan.
And you
By
know
the way-
what? I didn't like the socks with it. If you're going to go shorts,
Yeah.
no socks.
And
No
by the way,
socks.
this is my first time on now that you guys are back
Yeah,
and
I'm
all
so
that.
excited to have
I
you
see
here.
Coors. Do I get like a 6-pack for being
That's
on?
all he
What's the
talked about
story?
on the
You
way
guys
over.
Yeah.
look?
Yeah, talk to producer Tim.
Yeah.
Really?
Tim,
Is that
Tim has
Yeah.
all the six
You,
packs.
you
He's
push
got
it
the
upstairs.
stash,
Oh,
yeah.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
We're
Still
good.
to come.
That one.
The
Stay
Caps
calm.
won game 2, but lost their leading scorer. The latest on Yevgeny Kuznetsov, plus a windswept James Duthie in the panel. After the break.
Friday night football tonight.
Silver precision tonight. Pals and Red Blacks. Trevor Harris tied for the league lead in touchdown passes last season with 30, despite playing 3 fewer games than Mike Riley. First quarter, Harris As he throws downfield, he is hit. He's also picked off. Harris in pain after taking the hit. Went down awkwardly as he's hit. The trainer's looking at his left leg. Helped off, not putting a lot of weight on that left leg. Harris went straight to the room. Rick Campbell said at halftime that the injury isn't overly serious, so that's good news. Harris was on the sideline in street clothes for the second half. Let's check in. What's going on in the stands? The old beer out of a shoe while you high-five some young fans. This is good news, too. Aside from the shoe beer. Oh, gross. Harris on the stationary bike later in the game.
Apparently it's called a shoey. A shoey. Clayton Kershaw returned to the Doyers starting rotation after spending 10 days on the DL with bicep tendonitis. Now, a recent Sports Illustrated article pointed out that the greatest pitcher of his generation has a chance to be a free agent after this season. The article also pointed out that Kershaw's childhood revolved around Little League, fruit snacks, and Eye of the Tiger on repeat. I bet you your childhood revolved around those things too, Dan. Eye of the Tiger on repeat?
Nah.
Does it get any better than that? Survivor?
I watch a lot of Thundercats.
Okay. Phillies and Doyers. Kershaw getting help from Breivik Valera. Now we're going to the second. We're very early. Jorge Alfaro smacks a two-out single to center field. That'll score Maikel Franco from second. Check out the replay. Franco not even close to touching home plate. But the Dodgers do not challenge, so the Phillies are up by 1. Kershaw struggled with his velocity all game. Fastball topped out at just 90 miles an hour. Still able to strike out the side in the 5th, and he did get pulled due to back tightness. He's scheduled to have an MRI on Friday, so more bad news for Kershaw and the Doyers as they lose 2-1.
Nats and Braves, Bryce Harper, 0 errors this season. I wonder what's going to happen. Bottom 3, Freddie Freeman finds the right field corner. Harper, his throw to second. Short hops Wilmer Defoe. Ozzie Albies scores. Harper given an error on the play. Bottom 7. Albies sends it out Harper's way. This time ball gets lodged under the wall. Harper plays it anyway. Run scores. Harper may have been able to throw his hands up for a dead ball. The Nats wanted to challenge the play, but they weren't allowed because they intentionally walked a player right after. Braves win it.
Red Sox and Astros. Boston manager Alex Cora was Houston's bench coach last season. He finally got his World Series ring on Thursday with Carlos Correa looking on from the dugout. But Cora will not like this. First inning, 1 on for Correa. Cora won't like Correa taking Drew Pomeranz deep for his 9th of the year. We interviewed Drew at the All-Star game last year, didn't we?
Yeah, he was the lone player that would speak to us.
No one else wanted to talk to us there. He was a nice guy. Rafael Devers grounded to first. Lance McCullers and Devers collide. Both players need time to get up, but both players would stay in the game. Devers was called out. And in the bottom of the 5th, George Springer. Slow grounder. Devers! That's Devers getting Springer. And the Astros.
That highlight pack wasn't going to be in. Producer Tim added it.
Threw it in there. Producer Tim getting beers for Jack Armstrong now. I think we should have one of those handshake things like the Cardinals have, where the butterflies fly away, and we're walking over here again.
That's 2 walks. That's another show first.
Woo! Despite winning Game 2, the Caps lost their leading scorer when Yevgeny Kuznetsov was hit by Braden McNabb in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Caps did not have much to say post-game.
I understand teams are traveling and stuff, but have a professional audio person with the coaches instead of the conference call thing.
Producer Tim says he was on the phone, in the plane, on the tarmac. The NHL.
Hey, you know what people don't know about Vegas?
Gambling's legal?
It gets windy there.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
You're about to find out.
James Duffy.
All right, back with Bob McKenzie and Ray Ferraro before we head off to Washington. What have we learned through 2 games of this Stanley Cup final? We've learned that Vegas can put on a show. That atmosphere was ridiculous, and so can these 2 teams. 15 goals through the first 2 games is the most since 1982.
We're at home, and you could almost feel the weight of the crowd on the Capitals, like they're waiting for something bad to happen. Maybe it's a stressful place for them. Maybe it's difficult to play at home, but they better relax because they need to not give back what they've just earned here in Vegas.
Well, they have a couple of choices. They could become the first team to win the Stanley Cup with a losing record at home in the best-of-7 format, or they could win 2 games at home and flip around that record.
Well, a guy in a bathing suit behind them. So you see, they're the panel. They're out of the studio. They're on location. So,
That's right.
They're covering the Stanley Cup final. We've noticed a few fans looking for some FaceTime. Didn't happen there because they were on a perched location. Didn't have to worry about it. You'll see in this new segment called Panel Peepers, that isn't always the case.
The history road record is 10 wins on the road.
This has been Panel Peepers.
That's pretty good. Johnny Manziel will play in his first CFL game on Friday when the Tabbies host the Argos in preseason action. Johnny Football will not start, but because he is Johnny Football, we are compelled to ask him if he is feeling nervous.
No nerves. Whenever there's no pressure on myself right now. I don't have to come up here and prove anything in a first preseason game. I just have to come out and play ball. That's all I'm doing. I'm still learning an offense. I'm still learning, everything new. So it's just a growing process.
Johnny Football's much anticipated CFL debut will happen Friday. And you can catch the Argos and Tabbies. Apparently Ricky Ray won't be playing. Is that right?
It's the rumor.
But Johnny Football will be playing. Man, it looks fantastic to have him in the league.
Can we hear it?
Yeah, can we hear it?
Friday night football tonight.
Yes. Can we hear it again?
Friday night football tonight.
And a third time.
Friday night football tonight.
Yes. 7:30 Eastern.
The original singers of that Friday Night Football, have we started looking for them?
They're the Pointer Sisters.
Oh. Didn't know that.
Pointer Sisters, underrated. Awesome. So many hits. Coming back, Tiger at the Memorial.
I guess producer Tim figured the halfway point of the show was about the time I finally had an on-camera intro. Just giving the people what they want is 100% what Tim said out loud after he heard me say that. The man's taking years off my life. I'm 24. 19-year-old Denis Shapovalov on the court in Paris Thursday for a second-round matchup in the first major that the Canadian has ever been a seeded player. Struggled through, I nailed it. He's taking on Germany's Maximilian Martyr. Both men making their debuts at the French. On serve late in the first set, Shapovalov catches Martyr. The slice backhand.
Not sure what happened there
Shapovalov
with
15 and
Martyr.
2 this year when winning the first set. He took the opener 7-5. Shapovalov lost the second in a tiebreak, facing set point in the third. Goes all out on the forehand. Staves off Martyr. 2 points later, Shapovalov. Man, that clay, it can be slippery. Can't recover to return the Martyr backhand. Broken for the third time in the match. Cost him the set. Martyr 1-4 in his career against top 25.
Martyrer is like rural juror.
Chases down the Shapovalov jump. Martyr puts it in the net. Earns himself a break point. A few points later, Martyr puts away the easy volley. Denis 0 for 3 on break points in the set. Very next game, Shapovalov in a love 30 hole, forced wide, his forehand. Misfired. Triple match point. Very next point. Shapovalov serving to keep the match alive. It's one of his 82 on-force errors in the match. The lone Canadian remaining in the main draw is out in the second round.
Serena Williams taking on 17-seed Ashley Barty. Serena once again wearing the cat suit. After Barty took the first and broke Serena to open the second, Serena botches the overhead smash. But on the next point, vintage queen. Yeah. Can we hear that roar again? Yes. Then at 30 all, Serena comes to the net. And another scream. Serena breaks it to even it at 1 set apiece in the third. After going up another break, Serena. Forehead winner.
That's too good.
Forehand winner, not forehead winner. Sorry about that. And then the little delicate volley. Nice touch. Look at her, just sort of like, Serena wins her 9th straight Grand Slam match. She's off to the third round.
First round of the Memorial. Tiger playing for the first time since an 11th place finish at the Players' Championship. Started on the back nine. 15th hole. Tiger's tee shot. Now, he said tightness in his lower back. He couldn't get loose through the first 7 holes. That was in someone's backyard. Trust us. Double bogeyed the hole. Next hole, 14-time major champ. Needed this to save par. Oh, like an O'Toole at an open bar wedding, it got a little lippy. His second of the day, 3 over 39. After a birdie on 5, remember he played the back first, now on the front. His approach on 6, within a few feet of the pin, he'd convert for a second straight birdie, moves to 1 over par. So once that back loosened up a bit, started to play like Tiger on 7. From the sand. Perfection. Tapped in for a 3rd straight birdie, had 5 on the day. Tiger shot an even par 72, 7 shots off the lead.
First round of the U.S. Women's Open. Canadian Brooke Henderson. Beth finished tied for 5th in 2015. On 4, her approach from 155 yards.
Always a sign that it was a flyer.
That's not good. Her sister Brittany has been caddying for Brooke since she turned pro in 2014. Here's Brooke chipping from the fringe. Trying to scramble for par, could not do it. She was 3 over through 4, so obviously not a great start, but she closed out the front 9 well. Nice approach. Sets up her 2nd birdie of the round. 2 over through 9 on 15. She makes her 4th and final birdie, so she's 1 over, and she's only 6 shots back.
Fight from Brooke Henderson here.
Jenny's good, bad, the ugly, we got it all. Rays and A's, 2 out, top 9.
6 hits. All of these runs.
That one's popped up. Chad Pindu. Bobbles. Oh, barehands it. Great play by Pinder. Game-ending catch.
Jordan Clarkson had a game to forget in his first finals appearance. Things were already rough in warm-up. The ball just slips out of his hands as he attempts a shot.
In my opinion, he's the 2nd best player in the world.
First round of the Memorial, Hideki Matsuyama. In trouble on 11. In the rough. That's thick. Oh!
Oh, man.
He's still tied for the lead after the first round.
Oh, that was a photo.
Serena. Can we hear it again?
Constructed that point
Right.
correctly.
That one didn't.
Does not have the
She overcame 36 unforced errors to take her match in 3 sets. She's out to the 3rd round.
John Isner has his serve return near perfect, but gets it, comes up with the incredible running winner. He advances to the 3rd round in 4 sets. Ricky Fowler at the Memorial. Oh, man.
there inside the hazard line.
He's standing on some rocks.
Doesn't seem good.
Typically, the ball will want to come out.
Not bad.
That was really good.
Bogey the hole.
Run direction and very fortunate.
And producer Tim going long with these Jannies. Nats Braves. Freddie Freeman fouls it straight back off the screen and he catches it.
And he makes the catch.
Phillies and Dodgers, Justin Turner.
Over to third. That's going to
It's that one into the hole. It's short. Scott Kingery.
Wow.
Turner initially ruled safe. They looked at it. They said, nope, you're gone.
And JaVale McGee didn't have the best of nights in Game 1. He hasn't had the best of careers. Other than the fact that he plays for the Golden State Warriors and wins titles. First Steph Curry through his legs, then McGee alone, under the bucket. McGee. When we come back, it's time for the Rally Goose. Oh, this is a pretty cool story. That goose who got loose in America, we'll tell you about him. Sports Center with Jay and Dan. It's a television program on TSN that you're watching. Flashback to Wednesday, a goose was loose at Comerica Park in Detroit. It evaded the grounds crew and then eventually had a run-in with this scoreboard. This is incredible, though. We saw this woman care for the goose. This woman was a veterinarian who happened to be sitting nearby and made sure that the goose got out of the park safely. And then when the goose didn't leave the park area, drove it to Michigan State where it's being monitored. So they let her throw out the first pitch of the game the next day, which was Thursday. Very cool. And now the Rally Goose is going to propel the Tigers to the World Series or something. Either way, Victor Reyes plates all 3 runs there, and the Tigers get the win over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Yes, the Rally Goose. If you're a Tigers fan, you got to love it. Now for the rest of the stories you need to know, it's time for the Jay and Dan Ooze.
Did they name the goose?
It's Zidane. Shocking news out of Spain, Dan. Zinedine Zidane has stepped down as manager of Real Madrid. That's right, Dan. Everybody's wondering, it has everyone wondering. Anyway.
Oh my goodness gracious me. What has Zidane done?
Okay. I planned all that and it worked to perfection. So there you go. Zidane's leaving Real Madrid. And a lot of people thought it was because Cristiano Ronaldo alluded to the fact that he might leave Real Madrid after they won the Champions League this year. But Ronaldo has backtracked on those comments. So Zidane, I feel like Zidane's won everything. And he's decided, you know what else can I win?
Bond villain.
He could fit that role, for sure.
Former Raptors bench boss Dwayne Casey's met with the Detroit Pistons, as expected, about their head coaching vacancy. He was previously held by Stan Van Gundy, that job. Raptors parted ways with Casey despite leading the team to the second-best record in the NBA this past regular season. You can lock that one up.
Yeah.
That's our guarantee of the week.
Yeah, should we start making that a thing?
Our lock of the week.
Our lock of the week, Dwayne Casey, the next coach of Detroit basketball. John Gruden, he's intense, Dan. Heading into the 2005 campaign, while his quarterback Chris Sims was on his honeymoon, Gruden repeatedly called him, wondering when Sims would be back stateside for the upcoming season. Now, according to Sims, he grew tired of the calls and cut his vacation short by 2 days. You know, Gruden has not lost that intensity as the new head coach of your Oakland Raiders. Throughout the whole offseason, he was pressuring Raiders QB Derek Carr to come work out with him. How do we know? We acquired these voicemails.
Derek Carr, John Gruden calling. I know it's a little early, but I'm thinking we hit the gym and get some preseason reps in to start the year off right. I'm at the LA Fitness. They got a promotion going on. If I sign up a friend, I get 2 months free. Carr, it's Gruden. The LA Fitness is being really stingy with this promotion. Turns out I can't just show them a picture of you and say that we're friends. You gotta stop what you're doing and get over here now. They tell me this deal will not last. DC, it's John. My phone just died, so I'm calling from the LA Fitness payphone. $35 a month, no contract. What can you possibly be doing that's more important than this? They have Zumba class on Wednesdays. Zumba, the forbidden dance. Hey, I gotta go. They're towing my PT Cruiser. It's gonna be a hell of a season.
Makes a convincing case for LA Fitness.
I could totally see Gruden in a PT Cruiser.
Still to come.
The Jay and Dan podcast brought to you by Coors Light. Lisa Ann is one of our guests. She's an adult film star, and she hosts a fantasy sports show on Sirius Radio. Seems strange, but we'll bring those worlds together on iHeartRadio's app.
Worst play of the day? Guaranteed it's this. 4 seconds ago in a tie ball game, off a missed free throw, J.R. Smith, the rebound starts running the wrong way. LeBron's like, we're going that way. And he's like, oh. Give me the ball, throw it. Yeah. J.R. didn't know what was going on.
I think he was like, what? What? Highlight of the night from Houston, George Springer. The grounding. Rafael Devers. I guess I was calling him Devers earlier. I thought it was Devers.
I'll tell you, that's a play that
Tomato?
It's Rafael Devers with the highlight of the night. We really blew it on a lot of things, not just Rafael Devers. I said that we talked to Drew Pomerantz at the All-Star game last year. It was actually in San Diego in 2016. Last year seemed like a bit of a blur. We both blew it during the CFL highlights. That fan was drinking out of the shoe. You called it the old beer out of a shoe while you high-five some young fans trick. I called it a shoey. It's actually called the shoot the boot. Shoot the boot. That sounds better. I said forehead winner instead of forehand winner during the Serena highlights. And I said Andrew Zwarich, one of our staff, said his favorite band was Bon Jovi. Yeah. It's O-Town. It's O-Town. And I also blew it when I asked for a Zidane, what has Zidane done? Apparently I blew it there, but I think I planned that out perfectly. So I think producer Tim messed that one up big time.
And then we've got LeBron James wearing these shorts, and we saw something very similar. You have the same look going, shorts and socks.
I have been rocking this look every day now that the weather is nice. And my wife is horrified because she says I shouldn't have the socks pulled up like that. But those are my socks I wear under the suit. Those are these socks. So I'm like, why not just wear one pair of socks all day? Shorts, pants, everything.
Well, you know, like the flippy floppies?
No. I like the Vans with a long pair of black suit socks. That's a look that's going to catch on now that LeBron and myself have adopted it.
I don't see that. That's a good look at a wedding for like the guy carrying up the rings, the ring bearer, with the suit and the shorts.
Oh yeah. So like a tiny boy.
Yes.